everyone and welcome to our Scroll Walk Robot workshop. If you're lucky enough, you'll be able to pick one of these up at one of our libraries: Rockingham, Warnbro, Safety Bay, Mary Davies during the school holidays, while stocks last. Okay, so for your Scroll Walk robot, you will need a 3mm screwdriver and some scissors and some textures. Everything else should be provided in the pack, including a AA battery. So I'm just unboxing everything here, making sure all the pieces are inside. It says step 1, lay out the components. Ensure you have a screwdriver, battery, scissors, markers and wire strippers on hand ready to use. I managed to use scissors for my wire strippers as well. And this is where I'd forgotten my scissors. Oops. Step 2. Strip the ends of the 3 wires 1 centimeter from the end. Attach the short red wire to one side of the push switch and the long red wire from the battery box to the other side. Now when you're stripping the ends of the wires, you need to be very careful. You will need an adult to do this for you. As you can see, I cut a little bit too hard and oops, I cut right through. So you want to make sure you're stripping off the outer layer of the wire, but not the actual wire. So just carefully indenting with the scissors, enough to cut the plastic, but not enough to cut through. And pulling the plastic off the ends. Do this to all the other wires. So again, that's all 3 wires. The reason why we're doing it is so that we can attach it to the pieces, which is coming up shortly. There you go, speeding it up a little, do that for all the wires. There you go, you can see a centimetre of wire roughly at each end. So now we're attaching to the push switch and the longer red wire from the battery box to the other side. Short red wire to the push switch. So I just put it through the loop, looped it round and twisted to seal it up again. And do the same for the other attachments. And now we're up to the next one, which is step 3. Attach the other end of the short red wire to the left side of the motor and the black wire from the battery box to the right side. So now you should have your motor, red wire to the push switch, another red wire to the battery holder, and then from the battery holder to the motor is our black wire. Step 4. Attach the 3 metal brackets into the circle base plate using 6 screws. Ensure they are attached to the flat side of the plate and positioned at an equal distance around the circle. You'll find in your pack there's 6 screws that are the same, and there's a 7th one that we're going to use later. This can be a bit fiddly. I've sped it up here, but it did take me a little while. Much easier if you have the right screwdriver. So you want a 3mm Phillips head screwdriver or crosshatch. Here I am counting out to make sure I'm roughly the same distance apart. A little bit of mathematics involved. And there we are, tightening them all up to make sure they're strong enough to hold our legs. Step 5, push out the center from the foam motor clamp and insert the motor shaft first into the foam. Push the plastic rocker onto the motor shaft. Here we go, shaft first, and you just want to leave it. There we go. Push it all the way through. And here's our plastic rocker. It's quite firm. Again, you'll need your parents' help or adults' help with this one. Push it into place. Oop, and drop it, or not. Okay, step 6. Attach the battery box to the top of the base plate with 1 screw. Note the position on the instructions. Use the self-adhesive foam to attach the push switch and the motor clamp to the top of the base plate as pictured. I'm still going with this. Now I found an issue with mine was that our last screw head was actually smaller than the hole in the battery box, so it didn't quite work very well. I figured out a fix for it a bit later. So next we're using our double-sided foam to attach the push switch and the motor clamp to the top of the base plate as pictured, ensuring the bottom of the motor does not touch the adhesive. You may need to trim down the self-adhesive foam with scissors to fit. Bit of a spoiler, in the end I used the double-sided foam for the battery box as well because our screw didn't work. So when you're trying to get the foam clamp and not sticking, so basically you want the double-sided foam to stick to the green motor clamp but not to the motor, so you can just push it up a little higher. There we go. Ensure the edge of the motor with the shaft sits just above the top of the foam motor head. Attach the self-adhesive wiggle eyes to the front of the motor head. Here we go. Getting a bit of character now. Isn't that cute? And finally, number 8, pens facing downward. Attach 3 markers to the metal brackets using rubber bands. Ensure each marker is facing downward and is attached at the same point to ensure your robot draws evenly. So I actually mistakenly put my markers on the inside of our metal brackets, and as you'll see, putting the battery in, box 9. Insert a battery into the battery box and remove the caps from the markers. Place on a piece of paper and press the switch. Then watch as your robot creates a unique masterpiece. Well, as you can see, when I put my markers on the inside, he didn't really stand very well. So now I'm turning them around so that they're on the outside of our meta brackets. There we are, it's a bit better. Let's see. Still not standing greatly. Not very exciting, is it? Doesn't move very much. Alright, well there is a tip here. It says to test the difference between thin and thick markers and how do the drawings differ. Well, as you can see, my thick markers didn't want to move very much. So we're swapping over for some little markers that I found. Again, attaching them to the outside of the metal brackets with the lacquer bands. You might need a few extra lacquer bands to keep them sturdy. Alright, that's a bit more exciting. Here we go. I've discovered my scroll walker likes to draw donuts. Perhaps you'd like to share or get your parents to share what masterpiece your scroll walker managed to make. Nope, and he's tipped over. Don't fear, because you've put him together, you know exactly how to fix him. There we go, good as new.